I just think they're ganging up on Trump as a way to try to disqualify him, and I just don't think that's right.
And what about what they've done to Hunter Biden with indicting him for felonious gun ownership and tax evasion?
I think they need to go after Hunter Biden however they can.
But not Donald Trump.
No.
So there's the double standard.
Maybe.
Right.
For the prize of being called a Trump supporter, many are expected to blindly legitimize everything that he says, to write off his very real legal issues as politically motivated, but at the same time to advocate for politically motivated prosecutions at the same time. They have to support his agenda 100%, no matter how those policies affect the country.
If Donald Trump comes back into office, what's the first thing you'd like to see him do as president?
Open up the pipeline.
Because?
Lower the fuel and all this and that like we did before. The groceries were crazy.
You know, the price of gas is only a little higher now than it was on the last day that President Trump was in office. Do you think presidents have much to do with the price of oil, price of gas?
I think the when they shut the pipeline down, I think he did. Yeah.
And that changed it all there?
I think so.
Trump told his followers that the pipelines would have changed the landscape of insane fuel prices, so they believed him. But he also told them that he worked hard to raise the prices too. They don't seem to have been listening then when he accidentally spilled the beans in the middle of this brag fest.
I had to save the oil companies. They were all going to go bust. I said, this is the first time I've ever said we got to get it up a little bit. I actually called Russia and the King of Saudi Arabia. We had a three-way call, and we cut back on the oil because it was so incredible, helped fill up the strategic national reserves, and he's now taken all of that to reduce gasoline prices for cars just prior to the election, very artificially.
That story doesn't even seem very feasible. But when the former president is on a roll with taking credit for everything positive and denying responsibility for things that are negative, he gets confused every once in a while. So how has MAGA been conditioned to respond when a thing or two goes well during the Biden administration?
The joblessness rate is down. People say inflation is now down and the economy is coming back, albeit slowly. Do you credit President Biden with any of that?
No.
Do you blame President Biden for the economy?
Yes, I mean, I would say it started from petroleum when he first got in there, shutting the pipeline down.
But if the economy is now recovering, does he not then get credit for that?
I would say no, because when you make it completely then you just bring it back to you don't get credit for the positive side of that.
So he inherited like what you were referred to as a shit economy from Trump, and then he made it worse?
I wouldn't say it was but I would say Trump really got blindsided by COVID, which is a conspiracy itself, but yeah, I don't know.
Notice he accidentally called Trump's economy until Michael Schur highlighted that it was a main driver to his argument. Then suddenly COVID entered the conversation.
Would you say it's a conspiracy? You mean?
Well, I mean, it was impeccable timing when it happened, when COVID happened.
So you think it was intentional?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
In what way?
Well, I would say with the trade with China, or just the way everything was great. The best thing you have to do is bankrupt the country and shut Trump's economy down, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, it was brilliant.
But you think it was intentional?
Yeah.
So, Donald Trump had the United States going just wonderfully, apparently. The economy was fabulous. Everyone had access to life, liberty, and absolute complete happiness until the entire world conspired to take him down with COVID. All it took was a constant drumbeat of telling supporters that someone or something else is why Trump failed. And no matter what, it wasn't his fault.
I think there's something more fishy about that pandemic. I think China.
You mean they intentionally did it?
Thinking so.
What makes you think that?
Because I don't know. I just think so.
He really doesn't know why he thinks so. Because Trump rallies, conservative media, and the biggest Trump yes-men in office have told him that over and over and over again. But they never told him, you're going to believe this BS because we told you to. But even if they did, though, the obligation to be an unwavering supporter of MAGA would force them to believe conspiracy theories that just don't make any sense. They do it all the time. They have to excuse Trump from any responsibility because he was able to flip our representative democracy on its head. Because MAGA represents Trump's interests, not the other way around.
So much of the world thought that COVID was going to kill everybody. So
It killed a lot of
I'm
people, right?
I'm not sure that the fact that so much of the world thinks something means it's correct.